Good afternoon. Today we will talk about lesson 3, non-renewable resources. And we must know that resources around us is divided into two types, renewable and non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources, the resources that can't be replaced again. And let's know the two main types of non-renewable resources are fossil fuels and nuclear fuel. Fossil fuels. What's meant by fossil fuels? Fossil fuel, the remains of living organisms, like plants and animals. Fossil fuels release energy when they are burned. This energy can be converted to electricity, and fossil fuels are the most commonly energy. Why? Because they are inexpensive. Number 2, nuclear fuel. What's meant by nuclear fuel? The nuclear energy released when the nuclei of atoms are split or combined. When the nuclei of atoms split or combined. And the most common nuclear fuel is uranium. Now let's talk about the types of fossil fuels. What are the three types of fossil fuels? Number 1, petroleum, and it is called crude oil, extracted from the ground, and more than 35% of the world's energy comes from crude oil. Natural gas, used for heating or cooking. Number 2, the main component of natural gas is methane gas. 3, coal. It is used to heat homes and for transportation. And more than half of our nation's electricity comes from coal. And this picture shows you natural gas and petroleum composition. Natural gas, petroleum, and coal composition. How do fossil fuels form? They are formed from the buried remains of living organisms. Fossil fuels differ in the kinds of organisms from which they form. The type of fossil fuels depend on the kind of organisms. The type of fossil fuels depend on the kinds of organisms which they form. Let's start with petroleum and natural gas form from microscopic sea organisms. Microscopic sea organisms, the organisms which found in sea. Heat and pressure turn the remains of organisms into petroleum and natural gas. And now we will know the formation of coal. Coal forms from plant remains. Plant remain. The amount of heat and pressure determines the type of coal. Coal has 3 types: lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. The amount of heat and pressure determines the type of coal. Lignite forms first, followed by bituminous, and finally anthracite. And we must know that anthracite is highly valued. Anthracite is highly valued because it has the highest carbon content. And now we will talk about lesson 4, renewable resources. The resources that can be replaced again. The resources that can be replaced as quickly as they are used. Most renewable resources come from the sun and the earth. The sun. The sun's energy is a result of nuclear fusion. Fusion produces large amount of energy. This energy is released into space as heat and light. So the sun produces heat and light. Solar energy, the energy which comes from the sun, is used in warmth earth. Number 1. Number 2, causing the movement of air, and also fuels plant growth. Energy from Earth comes from 2 sources. Number 1, the decay of radioactive elements in Earth's mantle. Number 2, the energy produced from the energy which is stored during Earth's formation. Now, let's know how might a renewable energy become non-renewable. For example, trees are renewable resources, but some people burn wood from trees to heat their homes. Some forests are being cut down and not being replanted again, like this picture. So, renewable resources may be non-renewable resources, like this picture. How do humans get energy from moving water? Moving water has kinetic energy. People have used the energy of falling water. Electrical energy produced from moving water is called hydroelectric energy, and the energy in flowing water is converted to electrical energy. The energy in flowing water is converted to electrical energy. Disadvantage of hydroelectric energy. Let's know what are the disadvantages of hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectric dams are expensive to build, and the dams can block the movement of fish. How do humans get energy from living things? Plants absorb light energy from the sun to make photosynthesis process and produce chemical energy. This energy is stored in leaves, stems, and roots. Chemical energy is also present in the dung of animals. These sources of energy make up biomass. So, let's know what's meant by biomass. Biomass is organic matter from plants and animals' waste that contains chemical energy. And biomass can be burned to release energy. This energy can be used in cook food, provide warmth, and power an engine. Biomass is inexpensive, can be replaced quickly. It's considered to be a renewable resource, but it produces pollution when it burns. Biomass can be used to produce liquid fuel called ethanol, and the ethanol is collected and burned as a fuel. Ethanol produced from about 40% of one corn harvest provide only 10% of the fuel used in cars. Let's talk about geothermal energy. How do humans use geothermal energy? It is the energy produced by heat from Earth's interior. Geothermal energy is used to produce energy as heat and electricity. Disadvantage of geothermal: pollution and expensive.